Now that's how you kick off a homestand. That's how you kick off day one of the WEI Ness and Jimmy Fund Radio Telethon as the Red Sox explode for 11 runs against the Diamondbacks. The park was jumping tonight, and they kick off the homestand with an 11-1 win over the Arizona Diamondbacks. Mickey Gasper with his first home run in a Red Sox uniform. That's just the tip of the iceberg when it came to the offense tonight. As we welcome you inside our Wasabi Fenway studio, it's WB Mason Extra Innings Live, free next day business delivery from your local hometown team. Glad you could join us. Adam Peller and Hall of Famer Jim Rice. Well, we were asking in the pregame show for a little bit more offense from the Red Sox. I think we got it tonight, Jim.
Yeah, but you want to save some now. you don't want to go just score one more than the opposing team, but you want to save some. But this is what they needed. They really needed to come out and just go ahead and show the fans who they really are.
Oh, and that's who they had been, right, before this 9-game stretch, right? The offense was clicking on all cylinders during that 9-game winning streak, and, of course, a lot during that 27-3 stretch. And this was reminiscent of that as you take a look at the box score from tonight. I mean, just incredible numbers. He had 16 hits, 9 of them for extra bases, 6 multi-hit games in there. Everybody in the lineup tonight had an RBI. And Jim, not a single strikeout for the first time in a game since 2010.
What causes that? It means either you shorten up, you're making some kind of adjustment, and you're not overswinging. You're hitting the ball where it's pitched.
Well, the Red Sox scored in 6 innings tonight, and let's start with the 5th inning where they put up a 3-spot on the Diamondbacks. And it all started with Wilson Contreras. Home run number 25 of the year. That's a career high for the Red Sox first baseman. Puts the Sox up 5-0.
I wonder how that thigh is.
I think he's feeling okay. I think he was feeling pretty okay tonight, Jim. He had a couple of hits, and it just gets over that wall right there. And so Contreras knew it. And so he continues his trot around the base paths. And then Adley Rutschman, batting 5th tonight, catching. And this one struck well, but I don't know what that was from Corbin Carroll. Some topspin on that one, perhaps. Went back and then just missed it.
I think it did have a little topspin on it. What he did, he caught it in the palm. Instead of catching it in his fingers, caught it in the palm, and the palm just bounced out.
And so Rutschman is able to reach, and that sets the stage for the 6th-hole hitter. It's Caleb Durbin. And this one is misplayed out in left field. I don't know what was going on with the Diamondbacks tonight. Ketel Marte reportedly not showing up to the ballpark. He was placed on a restricted list, and then he had all these plays out in the outfield. It was sort of a disaster for the Diamondbacks.
That was just a ball that just beat him up right there. It just ate him up.
It certainly did. And so Durbin with the base hit and then the E7. So that's the 2nd error of the inning from the Diamondbacks. And the next batter is Andres Monasterio, the 2-0 pitch, and he delivers, and that does the job. Sac fly, run scores in the form of Adley Rutschman, and the Red Sox extend their lead. It's 6-0, and then Mickey Gasper getting the start. Jahmai Jones was originally the DH. He got scratched with some left hip soreness, and Gasper able to get the job done. And so Red Sox go up 7-0 at that point, and it was great to see that the Red Sox add on. They get a little help from the Diamondbacks in that.
They did, no doubt about that.
But Wilson Contreras leading off, and then the Red Sox made him pay, which was nice to see because we didn't see that at times during the road trip.
Those are the things that you have to do when they give you a 6th out or they're making errors like that. That's what you got to capitalize. But also going back to some of the notes here, we got to give our hats to Rafaela.
Oh, no, we will get there. Don't worry about that. There's plenty of time to talk about Cedar Rafaela, but for now, talk a little bit more about Wilson Contreras, our Subaru of New England star of the game. And you take a look at the home run leaders among first basemen in the American League, and you see Wilson Contreras in 2nd place, a tie for 1st place in that department, and Contreras now with a new career high, and so he gets the job done. And again, you know, he had 2 extra base hits in his last 12 games. He had 2 extra base hits tonight, and this was the double in the third inning, and the Red Sox are able to score a run in that frame. Caleb Durbin picked up another RBI. And so, again, Contreras, the health issues, a little bit banged up. He got the day off in the finale against the Pirates. So, obviously, it's nice to see him get back on track.
Well, you're talking about healthy, seeing the ball, and certain guys get hot first of the year, middle. He's getting hot when we need him right now. He's really getting hot. You
mentioned Cedar Rafaela. We should talk about him now.
Okay, we'll talk about him.
All right, first of all, American League leaders in doubles this season. Rafaela now with 32. I mean, he went in as the American League leader, and he added on in a big way tonight. 3 doubles for Rafaela. The first one came in the bottom of the 4th inning after Nick Sogard doubled. Rafaela goes down the line.
That's what you call it inside out right there. He didn't really try to do anything with the ball. He tried to inside at the ball, and that's what he did. Really, the ball got in. He almost jammed him a little bit, but he did get the barrel right there, inside out.
Nice swing by Rafaela.
But look where his head was at. That's what we were talking about, getting the head out front.
And so Rafaela with a nice swing there. And then in the bottom of the 6th inning, this one, he just blasts.
That's what you call heads out.
So going down right field with the inside out, and then turning on that one. And so Rafaela on with another double. That was his 31st of the year. He would later come in to score in that 6th inning. And then the Red Sox up 10-1. Another swing, almost the same place. This one off the wall once again. First 3-double game of his career. And now with 18 extra base hits. 18 extra base hits in the second half.
Just see the ball well. Look at the head, everything right there. And the thing about it, we didn't see him swinging too many bad pitches out of the zone, anything like that. A couple days ago, he was swinging at everything. Maybe he was tired, I don't know. Or maybe he was anticipating certain pitches, but tonight, he got what he wanted.
And the other thing we talked about in the pregame show tonight, Adley Rutschman, a bit of a struggle, to say the least. First few games in a Red Sox uniform. His first game at Fenway Park tonight. And Jim, the pregame show, you made a prediction. And look at Adley Rutschman, the catcher, that 5th today, hoping he gets back on track today, Jim.
A couple of hits tonight. Get a couple.
Yeah, there you go. Perfect. All right, so. Nostradamus over here. Jim Rice, display of power presented by your New England Chevy dealers. Together, let's drive. And how about Adley Rutschman going down the line? Remember he had a swing like that in the finale against the Pirates. It was caught. Same type of swing. This one falls for his first double in a Red Sox uniform.
But it's one thing he's got to learn. How many times have we talked about the left-handed hitters in the organization that have played here in Fenway Park? They got to use what? That wall. And so he's got an idea now. I can get bases on the left side, get bases on the right side. I'm a switch hitter, so I'm going to take advantage of that left field and hit that wall.
The other one came off of a position player in Vargas, but he'll take it. So 2 hits for Adley Rutschman and the RBI as well. Jemai Webster caught up with him after the game.
All right, thank you very much. Well, Adley, as a collective, how nice is it to look up in the box score and you see 1 through 9, everybody's contributed with an RBI?
Yeah, it's amazing. I think that's what this team's capable of. Every guy, stepping up. I think it's a big thing that Skip said when we were, on that huge win streak. Everyone's stepping up huge every single night. It's a different guy every night, and I think just seeing everyone do their thing was awesome. It was a fun game to be a part of. First game at Fenway. Can't ask for a whole lot more.
And for you, first game at Fenway, your first multi-hit game in a Red Sox uniform. How long have you been waiting for a night like this offensively?
Yeah, I think it's tough. You got to stay with the process, but nice to put some good swings on balls and get rewarded.
Bullpen game today. Alec Gamboa getting the start. Brian Bale eating up the majority of the innings there. What's your approach and strategy behind the plate as you got multiple guys coming in and out?
Yeah, it's just, doing the scouting reports before the game, kind of understanding what each guy has in their arsenal and what's going to play to their lineup. So, just getting to know these guys and having a little bit of time to sit down and talk with them has been huge, just so that when I go out there, I'm doing them a good service by calling the right pitches and making sure I understand how they operate on the mound and not just guessing.
You faced Bale, and you also got behind the plate to catch him tonight. What are you seeing from your perspective, which has made him so good in this reliever role?
Yeah, I mean, he's throwing gas, one, and he's hitting his spots. He's got multiple different pitch types. He's got the 2-4 combo. He's got the changeup, the cutter, sweeper. And when you have that many different pitch shapes and you're throwing that hard and locating it, it's tough to hit.
All right, Ali, thanks so much for the time. Congrats on the win, man.
Thank you.
How about Mickey Gasper? Getting the job done as the DH tonight. Picked up an RBI and also hit his first home run in a Red Sox uniform as well. Our post-game coverage continues after this.
WB Mason Extra Innings. Restaurants of Red Sox Nation. Skip the freight charges and long lines. Visit WBMason.com for fast next-day delivery and prices you'll love. Who but WB Mason?
Get more from your NESN 360 subscription with NESN 360 Rewards. Get monthly exclusive offers like credit at Fenway Park and discounts on Bruins tickets and official team merchandise, TD Garden concerts, BJ's memberships, and much more. Download NESN 360 today to join the program. Well, the Red Sox return home and they wallop the Diamondbacks. They put up 11 runs and they get their homestand off on the right foot as we take a look at the local weather from our NESN television partners. All right, it's day one of the WEI NESN Jimmy Fund Radio Telethon. Still working the phones here. 877-738-1234. You can go to jimmyfund.org as well. And so far, over $2.7 million raised. That included the $1 million match from Rob and Karen Hale. And so had to get to that $1 million mark, and we were able to do that and get the match, so that is great news. And joining us now is Dr. Hal Burstein, the Director of Academic Partnerships and Director of Breast Cancer Education at the Dana-Farber Cancer Institute. Thanks so much for joining us. You got the late shift tonight.
I'm the closer. We are ready to bring it home. And what a fun night at the ballpark. That was really a great night.
Every year you should win during the Jimmy Fund Telethon. It hasn't always happened that way, but this is exactly how you would want it to play out. In terms of your role, could you describe exactly what you do there for Dana-Farber?
So I'm a breast cancer clinician, and I'm involved in our clinical trials. And we also try to develop educational programs for physicians at all levels across the country and really around the world, so that we help spread the word of the expertise that comes out of Dana-Farber and help people around the world learn how to use those insights to take better care of patients.
And how are some of those advancements helping people who are living with cancer?
Well, it's been an extraordinary year. One of the great stories has been these new drugs in pancreatic cancer, and I know people have been talking about it here today, but that's a story that began in the labs at Dana-Farber with research onto this gene called RAS, R-A-S, which is so important for pancreatic cancer development, and then the development of new drugs and partnering with pharmaceutical companies to lead the clinical trials so that our patients have early access to these extraordinary medicines. And there was a great story in the Globe today featuring Brian Wolpin, who leads our program there, and the work he's done, and how things emerge from the lab, from Dana-Farber, and go worldwide. So now they're giving the drug out at community hospitals and places like that all over the country. So that's the kind of thing that this philanthropy supports. Actually, the Hale family has been tremendously generous to that program as well. And that's the model for what we're trying to do at Dana-Farber.
Yeah, and Rob Hale was on WEI this morning talking about that very advancement. It's just incredible how far we've come in such a relatively short period of time, really, since the telethon started. In terms of the new state-of-the-art inpatient facility Dana-Farber is planning, could you tell us more about that?
This is really exciting. This is going to be the first all-cancer hospital in New England. It's going to open in the first quarter of 2031, and it's going to be a very special place. You know, one of the things I tell folks when they ask what makes Dana-Farber very special and compelling is you walk in and you sense that everybody there is purpose-driven. They know why they're there. It's a unique space. It's like coming to the ballpark. You know when you show up at Fenway what this is all about and why it's special. And that same culture and excitement is going to permeate this new building. For folks who already know Dana-Farber, it's going to extend the successes we've had into this beautiful state-of-the-art 300-bed place with cancer focus, cancer-centered radiology, cancer-centered intensive care medicine, linked beautifully to our outpatient clinics around the Boston area. And so now we just got to, keep building that. So 5 years to go, but the ground has been broken. There's a beautiful construction site that's opened up, and we are really excited to see that emerge.
Yeah, looking forward to that, and just incredible work you do and your colleagues at Dana-Farber. We appreciate your time here tonight.
Thank you very much.
I'm glad the Red Sox put on a show for you.
They did. I was ready to go in. I could have pitched at those last innings.
You know what? You might have been able to, and I think they still would have been okay. Any of us could have pulled it. Jim would have been, just fine stepping into the batter's box. All right, we continue our post-game coverage, and we continue day one of the WEI Ness Jimmy Fund Radio Telethon as you take a look at the ways to give. 877-738-1234. Go to jimmyfund.org. Text KCancer to 56512. And, of course, you can become a part of Jimmy's team, which is the monthly giving program. Well, Wilson Contreras knew it. He hit his 25th home run of the year, and the Red Sox explode for 11 runs in Game 1 of the series against the Diamondbacks. We will hear from Chad Tracy and get you some post-game reaction from the clubhouse as well. That's next. Back with Power Moves, presented by Salem 5, here to help you make your move as you take a look at the Red Sox numbers over the last 17 games. Now, going into tonight, they had lost their last two in that series against the A's at Fenway Park, but overall, you see now 13-4, and they have lit it up offensively overall. Chad Tracy had to like what he saw tonight. Here's what he had to say post-game.
I mean, no secret over the last week or so that grinding offensively, and we weren't today. So it was great to see up and down the lineup, contributions everywhere, hard hit balls, really, really good offensive output by the entire group.
How important maybe was it for Adley to get those swings?
Yeah, I really think the last swing in Pittsburgh, he hit that ball, lined that ball down the left field corner. They made a slide. I think it was Manga made a sliding catch. That was a really good swing. Obviously, the ball got dropped and right. That was a good swing. So we saw since the last game there, we've seen a handful of swings starting to show up, timing starting to get there. So it was nice to see him get a couple good swings off tonight.
Just Bayo's consistency.
Yeah.
How big is that?
Huge. We've talked a lot about the starters and like how do we do things to be able to insert things to get them more rest, and like you saw it tonight, like Gamby was awesome, 4 hitters, gets them all out. Bayo comes in and gives us length and sets it up for the backside, and hugely important, and he's been very, very good in that role for a while now.
How cool was it to see Wyatt get 2 strikeouts?
That was awesome. I've had him for 2 years, grinding away in the minor leagues, watching him pitch, and to see him, another guy that I've got a lot of experience with, obviously, and to see him and know what he's gone through and the ups and downs, and this stuff was always huge stuff. To see him be able to get out on a big league mound and say that he's a big leaguer forever is a pretty cool moment.
We were talking about Rafaela before. How nice was it to see him get the 3 doubles today?
Much better today. He's doing some work on top of and all over like the swing decision piece of it. He swung at good pitches today and hit him really, really hard. So it was really good to see.
How big is the addition of like Eli Ben? I mean, he's traded on the same day as Adley, so everybody talks about that. But,
Yeah.
RBI single, he made that nice
The defense too, like that piece of it, like knowing that if there's days against lefties that you want to get Jaron out of there, that you have him in the game, or if you wanted to like end up in a situation where he's playing defense late because you pinch hit, like you have a plus defensive player. It's like that's a huge component of it too. But we, in the meantime, are getting some really good at bats against lefties as well.
How did you like Contreras' night?
It was great. Another one. I mean, we had a lot of guys, like kind of going through some ups and downs, and to see some of those guys square up multiple balls today and feel good about it is a good sign for him. He was one of them. It was good to see that.
You guys didn't strike out today. Can you think of a time that's happened that you've seen?
I didn't even know that. That's crazy. No, I don't know. I don't know if that's happened this year or not, but that's actually good to hear, because I think during the road trip, we had some games where the strikeouts were piling up a little bit, which is unlike us. We're a very ball and play oriented team. But no, that's good.
Yeah, crazy stat. No strikeouts for this Red Sox lineup tonight. Mickey Gasper called up from Worcester yesterday when Masataka Yoshida went on the injured list in the lineup today. Wasn't originally in the lineup. Jahmai Jones was, but he was scratched. Gasper gets the opportunity, has a couple of hits, including his first home run in a Red Sox uniform.
Red Sox postgame on NESN is presented in part by Toyota, recognized as the longest lasting brand.
Make sure to tune in tomorrow to Nesson for day 2 of the WEI Nesson Jimmy Fund Radio Telethon presented by Arbella Insurance. Arbella, here for the Jimmy Fund, here for good. Electric Player is presented by Granite City Electric Supply. Electrical contractors prefer the GCA night train, and the train was rolling tonight for the Red Sox. And Nick Sogard, originally, Jahmai Jones was slated to be the leadoff hitter against the lefty Mitch Brad, but Jones was a late scratch, and so Sogard went into the leadoff position. Picked up a couple doubles, no big deal. Turn him around on the right side, benefit of being a switch hitter. And so he delivered the RBI double in the second inning and later scored after doubling in the fourth. And so Nick Sogard, one of those energy guys, again, this one from the left side. One of those energy guys, Jim, a good ball player, solid all around, and, he comes through tonight.
Got it out front, no rollover. A lot of times you see him, he get the ball too far back, and here come the rollover. He didn't get that one out. He threw some head on that ball there.
Third multi-double game of his career, second one this season. Last one came 9 days ago against the A's. And so the Red Sox with a big win in game 1 of their series against the Diamondbacks. Also day 1 of the WEI Nesson Jimmy Fund Radio Telethon as we take a look at the Arbella Insurance tote board. Up over $2.7 million. Still taking calls. You can give a gift now. 877-738-1234. Go to jimmyfund.org or text KCancer to 56512.
WB Mason Extra Innings. Restaurants of Red Sox Nation. Skip the freight charges and long lines. Visit WBMason.com for fast next-day delivery and prices you'll love. Who but WB Mason? Who's your favorite player?
I like Rafaela.
Oh, that's a good choice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same birthday.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. We got to make this happen. Are you here for the game tonight?
Yep.
All right. He'll hit a home run for you tonight.
Yep.
And we'll run this clip back tomorrow. And if he doesn't, nobody will ever see it again.
All right.
So that's what we
He's
learned.
calling shots.
That's what
for
we learned.
Rafaela today.
Dylan, I'd like you to do this. That camera over there, look up there, and we're here to raise money so that they can continue to find breakthroughs like they did for you, like they are for helping you. Look in that camera. Tell people why this money's important, why they should give to the Jimmy Fund.
Cancer is really hard, and with every donation, it makes it that much easier. Years ago, we didn't have a lot of these cures for this or the medications. Now we do because of your donations, and just every dollar makes a big difference.
Man, you ever think about television when you're
Take
you're
my
a little older?
headset.
Yeah, just take my job now, man. You can call the
Outta
game
here.
tonight.
Attaboy.
Thank you for coming by. Thank you for sharing your story. I know how difficult it is. It takes a lot of courage, and it means so much to what we're doing today. So thank you all.
Thank you, guys. Great
All
to
right.
go.
Remember, Rafaela home run tonight.
Didn't get the home run. 3 doubles, though. That'll do.
Yeah.
That'll do. Good job, Dylan. A great job all day long by everybody here at NESN and WEI, and of course all the patients and the families and the doctors and everybody involved with day one of the WEI NESN Jimmy Fund Radio Telethon as we welcome to Red Sox Final presented by Volvo Cars. Helps get you home safe. Adam Peller alongside Hall of Famer Jim Rice. It's been a really special day. It always is. And to see the Red Sox do what they did tonight was pretty special too.
Yeah. I've been in this organization for a while.
A little bit. A little bit.
And when you sign with the Red Sox or come to the big leagues, you know what the Jimmy Fund is all about. Ken Coleman was chairman of Jimmy Fund. I was chairman of Jimmy Fund. And I don't care who you are or how old you are. You go down there and a grown man going to cry.
Mm-hmm.
And you say to yourself, I don't want to go for 0 for 4, but it wouldn't bother me. Because if you see those kids down there with all the pain, they don't worry about no 0 for 4. They want to play baseball. They're not worried about that. They worry about, being able to live, being able to go out and play, be able to see their friends, be able to the family, things like that. So when you're talking about the Jimmy Fund, you want to give, and once you go down to Dana-Farber, you would want to be in awe that the way things have turned over to make it much better for people that have cancer can go down there and feel at home. That's one thing that I keep hearing in my back of my mind, that it's home. Once you go there, it's home. Everyone's down there know their specific job, and they make sure that when the patient come in, they're well taken care of.
Yeah, well said, and you know better than anyone what the Red Sox mean to the Jimmy Fund and vice versa. You've been a part of it for a very long time, and so the Red Sox putting on a show for everybody here in attendance. And we talk a lot about the offense tonight, rightfully so, because that was the star of the show. But Brian Bayo did very well in his role tonight as bulk reliever once again. As you take a look at the lowest ERA among relief pitchers that have gone at least 15 innings. Brian Bayo, fourth, a .85 ERA. That's really good stuff, and he spoke after the game tonight.
Nada, siento igual, normal. Creo que llevamos muy buen juego, muy buena llamada y eso, pues creo que fue muy bueno.
Yeah, I think it was good. He called a good game, and we got along pretty good this outing.
With how your year has gone, did you ever imagine that you'd get back to a stretch like this?
Que como el año empezó, ¿tú crees que podías volver a tener un estrecho como el que estás teniendo?
Pues claro, como siempre he dicho, la temporada es súper larga y uno tiene su alta y su baja, y creo que sí, siempre pensé que iba a tener mi buen momento y gracias a Dios llegó.
Yeah, of course. Like I always said, there's ups and downs in a baseball season, and I always thought that a good stretch like this was coming, and just was a matter of time.
How would you describe the satisfaction you have found in being able to excel in this role since you came back to the majors?
¿Cómo puedes describir la satisfacción de que has podido ser exitoso en este rol, aunque no sea tú como que lo que estás acostumbrado?
Me siento muy contento de que estoy ayudando al equipo en los momentos que me dan la bola. Me siento muy feliz conmigo y nada, creo que haciendo mi trabajo ahí, pues bien.
No, I feel happy and feel proud of for me to be able to help the team win. Every time they give me the ball, I'm able to perform and give my team a chance to win.
What did you think of the offense today?
¿Qué pensaste de la ofensiva del día de hoy?
Creo que fue algo increíble como esos bates estaban saliendo y nada, seguir tratando de ganar los próximos juegos y los próximos turnos de los bateadores.
Yeah, I think it was amazing. It was an unbelievable night. The way that the guys were hitting the ball, and hopefully we keep it rolling to keep winning some games.
Hot Take presented by Wasabi Technologies, proud partner of the Boston Red Sox. Take a look at the numbers for Brian Bayo as a bulk reliever. That's 11 appearances this season, 4-0 with a .85 ERA. And tonight, coming in, relief of Alec Gamboa in the second inning. And gets a 1-2-3 fourth inning, only needing 16 pitches in that frame. And one of the things that stood out about Bayo tonight was the velocity. He hit 98 a couple of times. It was up over his season average. And really had a solid stretch, retiring 10 consecutive batters between the second and fifth innings. That'll get the job done.
And he didn't try to trick anyone. He went after the guys, and that's what it's all about. You don't let guys get too comfortable in the box. After they see so many pitches, they're very comfortable. You don't want them to get comfortable in the box.
Yeah, Red Sox had a 7-0 lead, in the sixth inning. And, ran into a little bit of problems, allowed the run, but at the end of the day, didn't allow the Diamondbacks to come all the way back. But, you look at the numbers as a reliever in his career and as a bulk reliever, but I really want to look at the numbers in the 7 appearances that he's had since he got called back up, right? Because he got sent down to try and figure some things out. They called him back up, and in those 7 appearances, he's got a .99 ERA. So they sent him down. He figured out whatever he needed to. Now, the next step at some point, I don't know if it's going to be this season or not, but he's a starting pitcher. So we're going to see him start at some point again. Don't know if it's going to be this year or not, but maybe it's time for him to get the ball every 5 days, even if it's not a starting role, even if they use an opener. He needs to sort of figure into this rotation.
A year older, maturity, and you get to know a lot about yourself maybe in the off season, what you need to work on, how you have to change your attitude and things like that. You got to have this in the back of your mind that, look, I don't want to be a guy that they start someone and then all of a sudden I come in and I'm not a starter. It's more like a lone reliever. So I got to change my attitude. I got to figure out what I can do to become that starter and go out there in the first inning instead of coming in the second inning or the third inning.
Got to figure out the first inning. That's the big thing moving forward. That's the next step in the process. We continue our coverage here from Fenway Park. We got one state left. It's South Dakota. Is that it? You know anybody in South Dakota?
No.
No? All right. We got to figure that out.
Yeah, we're going to go to the end of that.
I'd like to get that green by the end of the night.
Go find any pro athlete from North Dakota. Don't call him up.
I continue our coverage after this.
Red Sox Final is presented by Volvo Cars. Helps get you home safe.
Protect the Plate, presented by Volvo Cars. He had offense. He had a good outing. Brian Bayo. How about a defensive play to round things out? Andrew Monasterio. That's some good stuff right there, robbing Jordan Lawler. As we take a look at the metrics on Monasterio's play at shortstop, courtesy of StatCast. There he is right there. You see him making that play going to his left. Good range. Look at the arm strength right there. So, you know.
He almost threw it the pitcher that jumps up after this, throws the ball.
Yeah. Well, you know what's interesting, right? You see the nice play from Andrew Monasterio right there is that Trevor Story has started his rehab stint with the Woo Sox, played shortstop on Sunday, talked to the media here at Fenway Park today, said he's going to reassess, team's going to reassess where they're at after a couple more games with Worcester, and then the plan is, if all goes well, he's going to be at shortstop, so it'll be interesting to see Monasterio maybe moves over to second base, and you got that combination up the middle.
It's tough. Because the guy custom playing second base, you're talking about the doubles that he's been hitting, you know, playing second base, no doubt it's two different positions, but I guess as long as you're in the lineup, that's all that matters.
Exactly.
You still can produce regardless of what position you play.
Yeah, and no doubt he's one of the reasons why the Red Sox are where they are coming through. So is Wilson Contreras, who spoke after the game.
Good, man. We came out swinging. We figured out the starter pitcher. We kicked him out early in the game, which is what we wanted. And 1 through 9, we just put up good at bats. So it was a good night.
I think it was back in Chicago. You wondered if you get to that number of 25 homers. How gratifying is it to be able to do that and contribute in that way?
It feels good. It feels good to finally overcome the 24 homer, which is my top. I always was wondering if I had a healthy season. Had the full season, what the number is going to look like, and thankfully this year it's been one of the best years of my career. I've been healthy. Right now I'm trying to stay healthy, trying to stay on the field. But it's a dream coming through. I mean, overcoming your own stats means that you're putting up the right work. You have a good work ethic, and the most important thing is that I'm helping the team to win.
That day off did you some good yesterday?
Yeah, I mean, I asked for it. My leg is sore. I won't lie. I felt like I needed a day. And I talked to the trainers, they were okay with that. I talked to the manager, who was okay with that. I'm just trying to stay, like I said, trying to stay healthy. I don't want to become, I don't want the soreness to become an injury. And so I felt like my body needed a rest last night, and I asked for it. Yeah, so you help.
You don't do that very much, do you?
No. But I learned throughout my career, I learned to listen to my body. And that's one thing that if I could have learned something earlier, it would be like listen to my body.
Well, maybe some more off days, right? Come back swinging like that. Why not?
Not too many off days.
Not too many. Maybe one or two here and there mixed in. But you can see, of course, a big win for the Red Sox and a big day one of the WEI Ness and Jimmy Fund Radio Telethon as our coverage continues from Fenway Park. Next game preview is presented by Plymouth Rock Auto and Home Insurance for Boston sports fans. As you take a look at the pitching matchup in Game 2 of the series, you have Merrill Kelly. Merrill Kelly was actually traded last year to the Rangers, and part of that deal was Mitch Bratt, who started tonight. And then in the offseason, Kelly signed a 2-year deal to go back to Arizona, so he'll get the start tomorrow. And then Ranger Suarez on the mound for the Red Sox. You see the numbers right there. This will be his 6th start since coming off the injured list, and it's been all about trying to build him up to where he was before the injury. Now, last time out against the Blue Jays was his longest outing since coming off the injured list, when 5 innings allowed just the 1 run, 81 pitches. So Red Sox lost that game, but if you look at Suarez's line, it's a step in the right direction if you're looking to extend him and looking to take another step forward tomorrow night.
He's got to know how to pitch. I mean, he's probably missed his location more than anything else. Plus, you're talking about the Jays there. The Jays swing a pretty good bat. But the key thing, Adam, is that, hey, you know the guy know how to pitch, but you've got to hit your location. You don't hit your location, good hitter's going to take advantage of that.
Yeah, Red Sox have lost 3 straight series and hoping to win a series with a win tomorrow night here at Fenway Park, which is also day 2 of the WEI NESN Jimmy Fund Radio Telethon. And well, day 1's not over yet. You can call. We still have people on the phones. 877-738-1234. You can also visit jimmyfund.org or text KCancer to 56512. And you can see the total on the Arbella Insurance tote board in the background. Over $2.7 million raised so far. Heat Zone, presented by Rodenheiser Home Services, trusted heating and AC experts in Massachusetts for over 95 years. In the pregame show, we highlighted Caleb Durbin, and he was the right guy to highlight because tonight he went 3 for 4 with an RBI, scored a couple of runs, had a stolen bag as well. Part of a 16-hit attack for the Red Sox, who just exploded tonight here at Fenway Park in Game 1 of the series against the Diamondbacks. Wilson Contreras now with a career-high 25 home runs as the Red Sox take down the D-backs 11-1, your final. Game 2 tomorrow night here at Fenway Park. And of course, the WEI NESN Jimmy Fund Radio Telethon continues tomorrow as well. And you see the Arbella Insurance tote board, over $2.7 million raised. It was a great day 1. And coming up next, we will look back on all of it with you right here on NESN. Stay tuned.
I think Lisa's the GOAT. That's my personal opinion. In terms of like GOAT rankings in New England, she's probably number 1 up there, and then maybe Tom Brady.
I feel like every year I'm there, I see where those 25. I see where it goes because we're seeing kids, we're buying time, and these funds. It's just like if we can go to kindergarten, to first grade, to see your prom, college, all of these things that are just these huge milestones that some of us take for granted, but these kids don't.
Is Lisa Scherber there a lot of time?
All the time. Miss Lisa is our hero.
Again, the work they do over there, the miracles that they're making happen, how can you not be a big supporter of it?
The amount of blessings and what Dana-Farber has done for me and Dr. Cutler, it's humbling. You can't really describe it because it gives you a different perspective on life.
After the game, we called Dr. Anderson and he said, don't worry, we're going to take care of this. And Dana-Farber, the people over there added 5 more years to my dad's life.
Love that.
And it was just the most awesome thing in the world.
To see people through graduations, like grandchildren being born and
weddings.
It's just like, oh my gosh, this is why we do this.
I remember, growing up, coming to Boston and the Jimmy Fund boxes, that your parents would put the change in on the way out of the game, and, immediately started looking at the Jimmy Fund and Dana-Farber.
And we've seen it grow from about 400,000 to over 5 million.
What do you look forward to seeing when you go in there?
The music therapist.
Music therapist?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's cool. You like music?
No.
No?
But I'm so fortunate to have friends and family in my corner, and of course the amazing team here in Boston.
The people behind it, and how they've all been impacted with their families and their community. So it's really important that we can give back.
I was turning 28 at that time, and it was just like, wow.
Yeah.
Like that was such a nice trip to be able to go away for my birthday and just not have to worry so much about the cancer.
You're like facing your mortality, but you're also thinking about like your survivorship and what it's meant to live with this illness. And they really take that into account and make you feel like a human being going through this, not just like someone on a list. And that's carried out through like an over year of my treatment at Dana-Farber.
They saved my life in more ways than one. I was never seen as just a patient, or I was never a statistic online. I was Lauren.
2 thumbs up, 2 thumbs up, buddy.
And for us, when we show up, I think, it means even more to sort of, break that, be a positive face for them. And the Bruins Foundation does such a great job of setting those up. So I can't wait for another batch of them this year.
Bella has been through more than any individual should ever have to be in their lifetime. She's done some very scary things. She never once has complained about actually going to clinic.
What do you like to do there?
I like arts and crafts a lot. I draw a lot at home and stuff too.
What kind of things do you like to draw?
Everything.
Everything.
Dana-Farber is just incredible. It's been an amazing experience. If you can have an amazing experience with cancer, you can at Dana-Farber.
Working in graphics, I see the statistics, and the amazing work that Dr. Farber did, and it's just continued on and on. And where we are today is so much further ahead in the race than we were 10 years ago, 20 years ago, 30 years ago. I mean, it's amazing where I think we'll be 10 years from now.
So many stories from some incredible people today here at day one of the WEI Ness and Jimmy Fund Radio Telethon. Thank you for joining us as we look back on day one here from our Fenway studio. I'm Adam Peller, and we heard from patients, families, and clinicians at the Dana-Farber Cancer Institute. But of course, you made this day one a successful one as well, as we take a look now at some of the notable gifts from the first day of the WEI Ness and Jimmy Fund Radio Telethon. Of course, we were trying to get to that $1 million mark so we could get that match, that $1 million match from Rob and Karen Hale, and you were able to get that done. As you take a look at the rest of this list, so many generous donations. The Boston Bruins Foundation on here, the Lucano Family Foundation on here as well, and the Arbella Insurance Tote Board reflects all of that generosity. As you can see, over $2.7 million raised. And again, since this telethon's inception, $80 million has been raised going into this year's telethon, and that number continues to climb. And no gift is too small. Every little bit helps, and there are a number of ways that you can help as you take a look at the map now, and just one state remaining, and that's South Dakota. So South Dakota, if you're watching, if you know somebody who lives there, please tell them to give a gift right now. But again, so many ways to give. 877-738-1234. You can go to jimmyfund.org as well. You can text to give any amount. Text to KCancer 56512 to give. Now, we've had so many great interviews today, and we're going to start things off with Tom Caron and Lenny Bernardo. They had a chance to talk to Red Sox Executive Vice President of Social Impact and Executive Director of the Red Sox Foundation, Becca Salwas.
Tell me about the actual Red Sox Foundation, how it's evolved.
Yeah.
Is it still the same as it's been since day one, or how's it changed?
No, I mean, what's great is, though change is hard, evolution is fantastic. We have to iterate. We have to always stay relevant and respond to growing needs and changing needs in the community. And I think, John, Tom, Larry, back in the day when they founded the foundation in 2002, really had a great vision for the organization. I think it has continued to elevate since 2002. And if I'm being completely honest, I think it was somewhat built in the image and legacy of the Jimmy Fund, right? Stepping back 73 years to that partnership and knowing the impact that has been generated with those two organizations coming together, the Boston Red Sox and the Jimmy Fund, and seeing the impact that can be made, I do think our ownership sort of leaned in and looked at what that relationship was to create the lasting impact of the Red Sox Foundation. And so, yes, we have evolved since 2002 to do a lot more in the community and be a lot more responsive in the areas of health, education, and recreation. And we're just proud partners of the Jimmy Fund to this day.
One thing that has always stood out is the buy-in from the players, right? The clubhouse takes this seriously. And we talked earlier about the tradition of Red Sox captains. For the Jimmy Fund, you now have captains on multiple fronts.
Yeah.
These players get involved, and you're able to tailor some of them to matter, things that matter personally to
Absolutely.
the players.
Yeah, no, Jordan and Garrett, I saw Garrett earlier come on, and just to know that they continue to step up year over year since he's been here to be the captains. I think Nate Eovaldi might have been before.
Yes.
Yeah. And I think Garrett was waiting on the wings to step in, and because he offered immediately, and that's what you want to see. And to your point, we have other players stepping up to say, I want to be the captain of this program. And that began with the captainship with the Jimmy Fund. And so I do think it's having ripple effects across all of our philanthropy and all of our nonprofit work to have people and players and coaches step up and forward and raise their hand to say, I'll be a champion of this. And the reality is, unfortunately, that cancer touches too many people. And I think there's a lot of players and coaches in our clubhouse that have a real sort of close proximity to this.
I was going to ask you, why do you think it resonates so well with the players? I can tell you my personal experience, but you go in there and you ask a player to do this for the Jimmy Fund and for the Red Sox Foundation. I feel like you're getting people jumping up and volunteering. You don't have to drag them out of the clubhouse.
No. I do at this time want to give a shout out to our staff and our team that do make that connection and are the thread, the Caitlin Hanleys of the world, the Pam Ken before her. Like, those staff really make these opportunities possible for our clubhouse. They are the connection and the connective tissue between the Jimmy Fund and the Boston Red Sox. And so they make it as seamless as possible. Obviously, you would know better than I firsthand, but to your point, going into the Jimmy Fund and seeing Lisa with all the patients, and how can that not pull at your heartstrings and change you emotionally? Having a group come down to JetBlue during spring training and having players be able to access them and show them some love and support and change their life, is how can that not be transformative?
One thing I think we don't talk enough about or give enough highlight to is that in addition to the fundraising, what happens in these 2 days every year and what happens in so many of your other causes, we have the home base program here, is those tentpole events for days and weeks and maybe months afterwards have people thinking, right? You're thinking more about the veterans and what they go through after the home base program. You're thinking maybe with more empathy about what a family going through cancer is. The money's important, and that's why we're here. Let's give the money. I'm not saying don't.
Yeah.
But these conversations are important, aren't they?
Yeah, I think what we don't want any of our relationships to be is transactional. And I think what we have completely done well here is build relationships with the Jimmy Fund, with their patients, with their families. And beyond that, it's about creating experiences that some of these young children and adults have wanted for their whole life. And now to be that to fulfill that dream is an honor, right? And to be able to leverage this and our clubhouse and just the legacy of Fenway Park and the history of the Boston Red Sox, it's an honor. And how could you say no to that, to create that everlasting moment in these children's lives and these adults' lives?
As we take a look at the Arbella Insurance Tote Board, over $2.7 million raised so far. And we'll continue our look back at day one of the WEI Ness and Jimmy Fund Radio Telethon by remembering a man who was the driving force behind the telethon. Welcome back to our Fenway studio as we look back at day one of the WEI Ness and Jimmy Fund Radio Telethon. With your help, we can strike out cancer, and there are a number of ways to make your dollar count, including joining the monthly giving program, as you can become a monthly donor. Your monthly gift is an easy way to support the work of Dana-Farber all year long. A monthly donation provides reliable, continuous support for Dana-Farber's researchers and care teams for $25 a month. That's less than $1 per day. You can help strike out cancer all year long. And right now, let's look back on the legacy of Larry Lucchino. He was a driving force behind starting the telethon, becoming chairman during his time as president and CEO of the Red Sox. Sophia Yerkstovich and Lucy Burge caught up with his niece and nephew, David and Jennifer Lucchino.
As many people may remember, Larry ran the Red Sox as part of the ownership group that came in 2002. Loved Boston, loved Fenway, a real competitor in all parts of his life. What isn't known as well was his passion for curing cancer. As a 3-time cancer survivor himself, starting with non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, and the commitment that he had to the Jimmy Fund as CEO of the Red Sox for all those years, and really, helping to spearhead, this telethon. So it's a real honor to be able to carry on his legacy. Cancer touches all of their lives. I'm a cancer survivor. My sister's a cancer survivor.
Oh, wow.
And, we've been fortunate to have great care like so many people. But, the fight continues.
It definitely does, and his impact and his legacy is so tremendous, Larry's is, that you look at what the Dana Farber and the Jimmy Fund and the Telethon has become. What do you think he would be most proud of, looking at everything going on today and throughout the year with the Red Sox?
I think he'd be most proud of helping the people who needed it most. Cancer doesn't discriminate against, whether you're the wealthiest person or, a person, in a disadvantaged community.
Mm-hmm.
But those folks in the disadvantaged communities who don't have the access to care because of relationships or money, those were the people I think nearest and dearest. Because, my uncle was the second person to graduate from college in our family. My father was the first. My grandfather was a bartender. And so Larry knew the importance of, helping, everybody, in these lifelong fights.
And he and your family and the Jimmy Fund have helped so many people, as we know, throughout the years. Jennifer, you made the trip from Pittsburgh?
Yes.
Tell me why it was important for you to come up here at Boston for this.
Well, it's super important to just remember my uncle and his impact. Also, it's important because of Dana Farber itself and the amazing care that I've received there, and how much they've touched our family. So we really just want to continue to develop that relationship and continue my uncle's legacy.
Yeah, and as you said, as cancer touches everybody, you both have your personal experience with it as well. If you could talk a little bit about that.
Well, it's funny. I've heard people talking this morning as I was getting ready. I was watching the show. But cancer, you have the cancer, but equally as devastating can be the side effects that nobody really talks about. The toll on the caregivers in your life, whether it's your wife or husband, the side effects from neuropathy, to various blood issues that you have and low levels of testosterone or whatever it happens to be. And so there's a whole other dimension that nobody really thinks about. I certainly didn't as a cancer patient. And I think Dana Farber, does it well in helping to treat the whole patient because it's, it's a team sport when you have a cancer. You really can't do it alone. I certainly couldn't have.
Larry Lucchino's legacy lives on in a number of ways, including through the Jimmy Fund Radio Telethon. As you take a look at the states that have given a gift already, looking at you, South Dakota, looking at you to step up. And of course, you can step up as well. 877-738-1234. Visit jimmyfund.org or text K-Cancer to 56512. More coverage from Fenway Park coming up. Welcome back to Fenway Park as we take a look back at day one of the WEI Ness and Jimmy Fund Radio Telethon. We heard from so many different people, so many inspiring stories. It was an inspiring day. It was also a very successful one, and you made that happen. And you can continue to make that happen by giving a gift. And there are a number of different ways to do that. You can call 877-738-1234. Go online at jimmyfund.org. Text KCANCER to 56512, or you can join Jimmy's team, which is the monthly giving program. Now, the Red Sox connection to the Jimmy Fund goes back more than 7 decades, but over the years, other professional sports teams in this town have stepped up to the plate, including the Boston Bruins. Here's TC and Andrew Raycroft with CEO and alternate governor of the Bruins, Charlie Jacobs.
But this is special. This is personal to all of us.
It is. I want to say this is my 25th year here. My goodness, I don't know if that's true. I think we should fact check that, please. But it is. Listen, no matter how fortunate or what role you play in life, you're going to have a family member or perhaps yourself touched by cancer, and this is why we have this event, right? This is why this is such a special day. We as a community, whether it's Boston Bruins, Red Sox, Celtics, Patriots, you name it, we're here to support this event to make sure that we raise money to hopefully someday find a cure for cancer. And what more noble cause could we find?
Charlie, how proud are you of your organization and the players that continue to come back? We had Sean Thornton on half an hour ago. We're going to have
Thorny.
Sway on. Yes, of course. So that was an entertaining 15 minutes, as you can imagine. But this is, as a former player, I talk about how important this was and instilled in us by the organization from day one. We learned about this, the captain's practice coming in. You hear about Jimmy Fund as you come into town right away. How proud are you of that and the responsibility that the players and the coaches and the whole organization feels to put their best foot forward?
Well, I think that speaks volumes about the character of all players, but specifically about hockey players. If they're coming in and talking about this before the season starts, it means it's important, and it starts at the top, I would think. It starts with me, of course, but with Cam and with Don and with our coaches. I think you're having Marco Sturm on later today, or it permeates throughout the organization. It's great.
And it speaks to culture, right? And that's important to the Bruins. I mean, I think I've always said more than any other sport, and I started as a hockey guy. I'm a baseball guy now, but hockey has a culture that I think other sports don't always have, and the Bruins are probably, in my mind, because I'm a Bruin fan, at the top of that, right? I mean, that there's a legacy that goes back decades and decades, and when you come in, it's passed on to you. Like you said, you learn about these things right away, and and that, conversely, is built on the platform of the fans. When you ask the fans to engage in something that's important to the team, they do. How special is that relationship?
I agree. Listen, I'm incredibly biased, and I realize that we're at Fenway Park, right? But I will say this. I think that hockey players in general tend to be the most grounded of the professional athletes because they spend so much time going to and from the hockey rink with their parents and having those different types of conversations that are instilled with them that you may or may not get if with giving a kid a basketball or going to football practice, whatever it may be, or baseball practice. I just inherently believe that to be true for all hockey players. I don't know how you feel about this, Razor, but that's my take.
No, I couldn't agree more, of course.
Yeah.
And it is those rides. You learn a lot of lessons, and you learn how to be a good teammate on a lot of those rides.
Whether you had a good game or a bad game, you're going to talk about it with your parents and go through it, unpack it.
At 5:30 in the morning, as a hockey fan. I mean, that's, so it's a little more raw. I actually do believe that. Those early morning rides, and you're going 2 hours to a game. And again, goalies notwithstanding, the goalies are different. It's a whole different story. But you're a dad now. You've seen it with your
of course. It's instilled, and the teammate part of it is this. It's about helping, and it's about being there for the community or the region, and I think that's why we all love the Jimmy Fund so much, because it's something that brings us all together.
Well said. An incredible day one, and looking ahead to more of the same on day two, which includes some pretty high-profile guests. We'll show you next. welcome back to Fenway Park. It was an absolutely incredible day one of the WEI Ness and Jimmy Fund Radio Telethon. A number of high-profile guests, of course, joining us in the form of athletes and ownership and front office members, but it was the patients, their families, and the clinicians at Dana-Farber that really made this day special, and we're looking forward to more of the same on day 2 tomorrow. And we will be joined once again by some pretty recognizable names, including Tuukka Rask and Torrey Krug, former Bruins head coach of the Boston Bruins, Marco Sturm, Roger Clemens, Jared Saltalamacchia, and more. So it's going to be just an incredible day. So make sure you join us tomorrow for coverage of day 2 of the WEEI Ness and Jimmy Fund Radio Telethon right here on Nesson. An incredible day where we raised more than $2.7 million, but we're still looking at South Dakota to help us out. So hopefully they can do that by the end of the night, definitely by tomorrow. For all of us here at Nesson, I'm Adam Pellerin. Thank you so much, and we'll see you tomorrow.